is the value? Where do you see you guys are within this kind of rather, like, vision picture, but there's actually going to have to be some real life opportunities coming to market in the next 2 or 3 years? Where are they?
Well, all right, so we invest in largely B2C companies. We're not doing the next direct-to-consumer robo-advisor like a Betterment or a Wealth Fund or trying to come up with the next global bank. So we make it far less risky and actually easier, because what I said earlier about valuation. Kind of look at the world in terms of all the financial services ecosystem. So kind of frame it, you think of all the stacks, banks, payment processors, insurance companies, mortgage processors, asset management companies, capital market companies, etc. They all have ecosystems in and around them. They all have stacks from customer acquisition to onboarding to pricing, risk management, to account management, profiling, to claims processing. They all have kind of legacy infrastructure that is dramatic change happening, like dramatic change happening. We all know in cloud, AI is developed about, data, and data being used for AI is one of the most compelling cases within financial services, within the financial services industry. Mobile, all those stacks have now mobile and instant uses. So all those new technologies are being brought to bear up and down those stacks. So what we like to call this is kind of enabling the ecosystem, right? So we think one large change or one large trend that's going to happen in 17 for the next decade is you're going to see everything from, think your insurance carrier, and I go to Progressive commercial, but besides that, you get 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper and envelopes in the mail once a year, your price once a year, and your engagement once a year, and you're not, there's no mobile engagement, there's no online pricing, there's no real-time pricing, there's no data on you, there's no, take a photo of the vendor and send it in and get the claim process immediately. So you can kind of go stack by stack, across all those, and there hasn't much payments and banking, but you're going to have solutions up and down those stacks, being brought to bear by cloud-based solutions, data, etc.
Stack is a word that I suddenly realized I've left the digital world and taken that world. That's the way I love it. Really build applications in this way. So I think really, little bias, but I think the blockchain actually has the alpha unlike stack, right? It is the bug stack. Because what we're doing here, for those of you who barely know about it, we're grappling with a fundamental problem. Right? So there's this core issue that's going 500 years. We've had this centralized trust model, whereby banks and other institutions have acted as the intermediaries of our trust model. We've relied upon these institutions to represent us when we haven't been able to exchange the peer-to-peer way for whatever reason. So money is the most important application of that. We trust each other to transfer cash to a stranger because we've got this one very instrument that we all understand is the conveyance of the value that's being conveyed there. But once we move into remote environments, how does the world know that the dollar that I'm spending, I'm not double spending somewhere else? The monetary system requires some understanding of how that exchange happens, and therefore we have to invest the trust, if you will, in banking, which goes back to 500 years. So now, what blockchain does, which is the underlying technology that enables Bitcoin, is to create a decentralized architecture, a distributed system in which that trust can now be deferred to a consensus mechanism driven by cryptography and a bunch of other things. There's some game theory involved. It's proven itself. Bitcoin is actually the first use case, if you like, of this. And as much as it's had a hiccup as a digital currency, people think like, well, why do I want something that's, I've got my dollars and I think it's Bitcoin as a digital currency, that's all it is. In many respects, it's the first use case, and it proves itself because it hasn't been hacked, it has not been destroyed, the ledger is complete, even in this decentralized environment. So once you start to recognize that, you can see it as this important foundational layer. Like Mark Andreessen, when he was sort of first confronted Bitcoin, said something like, wow, this is the distributed trust architecture that we've always wanted when we were first rolling out, the internet. But this was the stuff that would truly allow peer-to-peer exchange. And if you had it, maybe we wouldn't have these behemoths like Amazon and others that end up decentralizing control, right? So there's something quite profoundly opportunistic about this moment. But it's very, very early days. And so doing that architecture is something that we'll get there at the internet. Something like, maybe the early 90s, right? We still haven't got to, maybe we're grappling with email. We still don't have the World Wide Web. We don't have mobile, smartphones. We don't have everything else. But what's also interesting is because I think of this recognition that the disruption could be so big and opportunities are so large, we are rushing forward with attempt to build applications on top of it. And you heard one more earlier, which is a really interesting idea that you use this immutable ledger now to be able to approve the transfer time or exchange mortgages in ways that cut out all that reconciliation. But the question is what architecture you're going to build that on. There's interesting ways around that. There's private blockchains that are quite destructive as a decentralized model. But all that comes along. And I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how the interplay between what I'm talking about fintech applications and the rollout of the underlying infrastructure is. I mean, the opportunity is huge. But in the lab, we're looking at things like the market involved in the warehouse system. So this idea that you could really bring into that financial system individuals and entities who have been locked out of it because that centralized trust architecture is difficult to get into. There's huge requirements to do so. And there's the case of warehouse systems that farmers that we're looking at in Mexico who will get a response for the grains that they put into a warehouse, which they should be able to use to then get a loan to finance. But because there's no way to prove that it hasn't been double spent, the same receipt hasn't been replaced 3 or 4 times, they get locked out of financing banks, don't want to finance it. So when we place that into the beautiful record that nobody can change, the decentralized trust architecture, you start to see the possibility. So these are the things that we're exploring in this realm. I think it's very exciting that we're kind of at the very early TCP/IP stage of development. It's not like in fintech itself, something built on centralized systems in this stage at least. There's a lot going on. What do you think?
Well, and I think that's the thing. So blockchain has tremendous promise, as we all know, and use cases. There are all these other things that may or use cases that may or may not use blockchain within financial services use case things. I gave an example of insurance earlier. I'll give an example of identity authentication. You go up to the bank account. We already show up to utility bills in Ukraine. 2 forms of my residence. All this sort of stuff that is just 30-year-old technology that needs to be changed. Invoicing, CFOs, they receive payments in 7 different ways, including Dottie Pony, and they send them out 8 different ways. And it's all the electronic AR and AP. It's all very old templates, would you say? So blockchain has tremendous promise, but there are also use cases and solution services that are needed to come up down stack. When you talk about digitization of payments, which everybody's familiar with, and the numbers of consumer payments, and it's going to be approximately right. But like 2005, 41% I think of all 41% of consumer payments were digital, 60%, 59% were cash and check. By 2015, that is completely flipped, and it's close to 77% digital, 30% cash and check. B2B payments are still well over 50% via check. So U.S. companies send around 70% of the checks all in the United States. They're sending around checks something like 55% of cases. So you're going to have continued digitization of consumer payments, and many people think 2017 is when we're all going to start putting our leather wallet away and start using our phone as our full wallet, because we all want one-touch purchase, etc. We'll see that happen, so maybe things can happen. So you're going to have this continuation of the digitization of not only of stacks, but across payments and then across B2B payments, which is a much larger volume of consumer payments. So digitization of the new payments, which brings up what I I'd say a third area of lots of promise, 17, 18, is what I call RegTech, regulatory technology. So it's fraud, it's risk, it's identity, it's compliance, it's your customer. I saw that the Wall Street Journal article recently, HSBC has 8,000 people in a tower in Long Island City, New York, and they're literally doing manually doing background checks. People open up an account, Googling your name and making sure you're not the mass murderer, the terrorist, whatever it is. I mean, it's all, that whole world of compliance is now somewhere between 15 to 18% of banks' day-to-day costs. And as everything becomes more digitized, as we all have more and more devices, the real need and what your identity is, and the positive history is your the negative history is your background check, and your positive history is that your account pages, people in over years, such and such, it's all going to start to be organized in a fashion such that it comes easier.
One of the areas that we are very interested in as a defensive blockchain application. One reason why is because you start to think about one is that compliance problem could be better resolved by the transparency of the data that's right. So in a real-time way, I can start to look at where my flows are. I might anonymize that data because we don't necessarily want that data to be publicly identified people. But at the same time, if I think that we talked about machine learning and big data earlier on, it is big data analysis of why blockchain flows systems like to start to manage nodes rather than individuals. And that's an interesting way to think about this because what obviously continues to face a problem right now is this demonetization is moving away from cash. And it's a massive backlash partly because people depend upon cash as an anonymous form of exchange. And it's not actually kind of a human right almost in its capacity to exchange. And so Bitcoin's very interesting because it says it is digital cash. It's not a new way to do digital banking. It's not digital cash. The anonymity that obviously gets in trouble on one hand is a very important feature as well because it allows the fluidity of commerce. So once you start to think about that architecture, you then think of how might we apply compliance to that? What other things that we could do with this information? And there's also the interesting applications around KYC. You need to know your customer concepts and or digital identity concepts that don't necessarily identify people. So knowing your customer is not knowing their name and their social security number and what utility bill, but it's knowing that this particular entity, whoever it is that you're dealing with, has this provable record of transactions that make them a good credit or a bad credit or a high risk or a low risk. And you have this sort of more automated interaction between financial institutions and the customers. And then you start to see, okay, so we can have potentially a safe world where these flows are managed in a way that doesn't undermine the financial system, and we can identify risk from a kind of patent perspective, but also protect anonymity and privacy. These things are becoming increasingly important. And hopefully that is the sort of thing that really reduces that massive compliance risk. By the way, that compliance problem is creating a global problem, which is this de-risking issue. There are countries all over the world that have had remittance corridors shut down because banks are terrified about being sued, but somehow unwittingly funding a money launderer, or worse, like a terrorist. Well, I think Western Union fine must be $1 $600 million. It's not as insignificant number because they're AML and money laundering. And the answer is to put up all the more compliance officers and or shut down operations because they're doing this. In ways, of course, I think that adds cost and value against the device supplier. We have a duty for the sake of the global economy to resolve this problem. I think it's very well. Yeah, no, and it's related to the last panel where where is data and then good use of data AI applicable. Financial services is a great use case. And as we all know, watch the security things at the airport, right? 99.9% of us double check before we let us open our rail accounts. Right, there's only 0.1% that are humble. A lot of AI, a lot of data can use to make all of this a lot smoother. And it's a terrific massive use case. But a lot of it also, in my mind, is it used to me enough eventually to reorganization of what we consider to be financial institutional banks. How long before we start to think, I love these questions. Will banks be the same as they are now in 10 years, 20 years time? What's the kind of glide path for this from that big picture perspective? When will the banks die? I suppose is the question. Yeah. I'm not wishing that upon the banks, so quite the answer. I don't know the answer, and I guess part of that's time horizon, 5 to 10 years. And what we're trying to do is get them efficient enough, right, so they can compete. I mean, it is very interesting, and Mike mentioned this, Indian demonetization. I mean, as if something in the United States said, okay, every $5, $10, $20 bill is worth zero December 31st, right? And all merchants stop accepting it, and they're trying to dramatically move that country to being completely digital payments. And they announced it, but announced it at night in the election, November 9th, and they said, whatever value rupees as of 12/31 are no longer a value of zero. And so you have this enormous, massive chaos, right? So my point is that, something like that in the United States, this digitization continues, right? So the concept of the bank, how you walk into a bank, no longer walk into the bank with your utility bill, show who you are, then what happens. You're going to see dramatic change. Obviously, going to see dramatic change. I would counter, Michael, that it's people's money. So I have always said, it sounds great to have, Wealthfront and Betterment and Robinhood and all these sorts of things. That sounds great to get $5,000, right? If you have, whatever number of dollars, you're getting a Sandbar, you're getting a Chase, or you're putting in something, there is people's money. So I don't think it's quite the same as, with a taxi and get an Uber, right? I think there is a difference to this because there's a security, it's a heavily regulated environment. I mean, as I said, all the company has to get a regulated license, so I don't think it's quite shift like other industries. And risk losing fortune or losing your life. I think that's funny. At the same time, again, instead of mountains of slowly dying, we of course we actually both have to try to make it transport you out of here to the south. Sorry, there's no question. But that was interesting to see you all, and thank you very much. I'm very happy this afternoon that we have 5 experts speakers here with us that will explain us all we need to know about machine learning in the world. Timothy Marks has been an able investor and managing director of Madrona Ventures Group, who reports he has years of experience in machine learning and other industry firms. Also here at Teams, he is an investor in the field and is an investment manager for Fundamental. And mostly he will invest in hardware and robotics companies. Carl Yasseman is the CEO and co-founder of the company. On his research at MIT, he is still one of the world's leading developers of self-driving car software. And also today, he is the co-founder and CEO of Gartha. Gartha has developed wearables that improve the safety of workers in the manufacturing industry. And Ari will be giving the session this afternoon. She's the director of emerging technology experience with IBM and spends her time identifying and enhancing scientific breakthroughs. I'm extremely excited about this panel. I hope you are as well. And about how fancy this is. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, welcome everybody. I'm good afternoon. So I'm also excited to meet the panel today. I think I'm going to start by asking our panelists, given that machine learning is really everywhere, that's one of the commodities, how do you help working your own job or help others understand what intelligence means? machine learning itself. I think there's so much thought and so much hype around now. Artificial intelligence is very easy to use. Machine learning is a portion of artificial intelligence to be precise. It's fun. And there are elements of which you can apply today, the elements you can apply in 10 years or 20 years from now, the elements that you could never potentially apply. So a lot of my background being from one of the largest companies in North America, in the form of life, is still what's going on in academia. And technology is looking for use cases. It's coming from the other side, right? What's the use case and what's the right way in which you address that use case. And that's one thing. So we also think about machine learning from a practical user perspective and how we deploy it in our system. And I guess the useful simulator for us is that we have to solve a problem that we're facing, whether that's to help a car detect pedestrian on the sidewalk or to help a car decide when to travel through a light. We have to completely model this using other tools and write down equations that precisely describe the phenomena. If we can, that's really a simulator approach to problem. Just writing that in and go. If you can, it's often because the phenomena that we're talking about is so complex or rich or inherently unmodelable that it's just no good in a way that is simply write down close points questions to describe that phenomena. In that case, often it's a useful way to have a problem about the data. If you use methods like machine learning that are often not able to scan through some manual process and do complex models that can help us understand the phenomena. So we again provide more community phenomena and I kind of learning methods that are skeptical because I don't understand what the data is, but I know that works tremendously enough.
Right, that's great. So I think that's right from the user perspective. That's the interesting situation. It could be what we call it doesn't really matter anymore to the user, but what matters is the interaction and what they get out of it. So how do you see the current trends for machine learning in particular? How is that affecting how users interact with machines?
That's a great question. I think we try to come things very, very quickly. Some people develop teaching into the particular enterprise or not maybe because we're thinking about here. Indicators of context that they try to quickly there's something low effective direction every day. I think so I've heard example like probably every time somebody realizes 10 different videos that help from the front of the so we think that it's probably other quick drives. We're measures like the on the card traces and stuff. So that's what I call these a lot of directions that work. Just when you interact with machine in general, whether it's tactile, physical things like computing, or something like what's the next line, how to go on the phone, how much knowledgeable, anything like that, something that I have last year. And talking to people like how that ability to interact in a very simple way, technology stuff is not a good kind of way. Also, when you go to Amazon.com, for example, or when you go to Netflix, or you go to a dating website, right? They have these sort of consumer-facing properties that you act on a day-to-day basis. You are starting to see smarter decisions that somebody is making on the back end because they know you are addicted enough, so they learn about what you like, what you don't like. They understand your sort of mind patterns, they understand your habits, and they're going to be smarter about what recommendations they can give you. That's one place you all encounter day-to-day. I think autonomous car is a great example. The stock is going to be another 3-5 years before a lot of us here are going to get a chance to be able to directly experience the benefit of that. But if you take an enterprise scenario, I flew Alaska Airlines to go to Boston, and I like Alaska Airlines. But whenever they sort of surface offers for me, I want them to be smarter about knowing my travel patterns, knowing my life and dislike, and giving offers that matter. There's a lot of machine learning that goes into them having to deliver that to me. So those are like sort of day-to-day experiences that they all starting to see what the power of machine learning could deliver for. From a user perspective, I've actually developed some machine learning in this technology and use cases. The way I can try to distill it is something like technology that understand. So just if on one axis you think about the downside risk of things going wrong. Is somebody going to lose their life, or am I going to get their own future, which is choose? Right? On one axis, the downside risk of machine learning going wrong. The other axis, the vertical axis, is the element of human control on that future. Which means if you're giving me a recommendation of the 5 people here, your young son, I'm sure you're all probably dating at this point, 5 people I could go on a date with, where you have the ability to control that choosing that thing. This is the person I choose. This is the other extreme, so I'm making a video blurred. And this is the person you have to marry and hopefully getting married tonight. So that's the other extreme where you don't have control of the system. This is a sense. If you distill every application with 2 kind of parameters, 2 axes, machine learning becomes extremely easy to understand where the adoption is going to happen and where it's not going to happen. So here's a simple example. I don't about the extra about the side. I think my personal example. If I were to be driven in a driverless car, I would think twice. If I keep driving in a driverless car, I would think twice taking that car because the downside is pretty high for me. I mean, accident and maybe whatever, maybe downside from there. And having said that, think about a city like Bombay or Manila or like chronic parking issues. So people see drivers in these cities that employ drivers because they want to get off at the station and let the driver just drive the buses off and then the driver to bring the car back and down to that point. So something like that, you have the control on the system, so the autonomous, and you have the risk is low and double the downside is yourself. You're able to survive upon it. Now that's the most advanced way I see it. So as you can map what application you're trying to write in that matrix, and use my user rate to adopt it in that same matrix, you get to see where you can actually get user adoption for machine learning type applications. And that's the advanced universe. The invisible universe, you think about technologies like fly-by-wire or autopilot. These technologies have existed for a long time. The only problem is the only difference between the car and the conversation with the plane is you know the plane when you get in, you're out of control. The pilot is up there, he's carrying the plane, and you've got to go to the you and him, and you try to get into it, or you land up in Guantanamo. Right? And I said it before. So the difference is, if you lost that control anyway, maybe that's some place where adoption becomes easier, which is not. Think about all these technologies when I was in college, to think about it, as you think about applying ML or AI or any deep thinking or neural network or genetic learning, whatever you think about science, think about where you fit in those squares, whether it's applicable, whether it's usable, and what's the lack of control is.
Right, great point. I think it's earlier where the technology might be ready, but are we ready to use it in a way that we feel safe and that it's going to still figure it out, right? And so that's a great example. What are other really good use cases that you see that are just perfect for the current state of life machine learning?
The use case is really, I think, important point. I don't know that I can make it any better. I can just put up everyone like, we have competitors in this space on these cars that are already just all these higher performance solutions. And they can go from sensor inputs to learning processes and control outputs. And I think our problem with the reality there is that if it does go wrong, this is, I would say, one of the weaknesses in machine learning is that it's very difficult to compare to the other thing like, hey, I'm taking this over this process is taking a black box. So why do you answer wrong? And in many applications, that means sort of just learning super quickly. And it's only a fairly complex set of characters. For the non-basic applications, you need that application. mentally drugged. I think that the upset happens here. This is one of the reasons why. But I think about the process. Emerging at the heart of our driving that, I'm very nervous. You don't do that today. Where we just stability. By as a society kind of conversation implicitly putting that burden on machine intelligence, I think we're setting ourselves up as communities in this I do think it's a valuable conversation now. I just think we have to be realistic about how this will be deployed in products over the coming years. This goes back to the point about census control and national control. So I don't want to talk about this in the school, but it's a very interesting idea. And the one brain in my head was if it's going to be how many people are discussed one case versus another. One case is the price people are looking at maybe make a bigger drop. Versus another case is that 500 people and far more, got to be people from the streets and just walking the first one. One thing is giving up the first people to make that drop. Or you have to control something in the back end to come in and make that double call.
what bias they have or they don't have and how does the translate to it. That's all about it. As you feed in massive amounts of data to train the model, if there is any bias that is sort of whether advertently or inadvertently introduced into that, the bias is going to show through and it's going to get replicated and the decisions that get made are going to be a reflection of that, right? There have been sort of classic reports about like, hey, when Google surfaces apps, right? Somebody has done a study to figure out that like 80% of the apps that get surfaced for high-paying jobs are surfaced from men. Why did that happen? Like, did somebody like consciously make a decision that that's what they want to do, or was it sort of some inherent bias that got injected into the system without people realizing that? I think those are all I sort of think about them as like in the same context of ethics that we talk about the past and right? How do you make sure that the data that's sort of used to train the model is as unbiased as realistically possible, knowing there is a lot of human beings involved in sort of that data getting fed into the machine learning model?
I have more of a macro question based on the upside stuff that we're discussing today. How do you see this trend towards machine learning and AI playing out in emerging markets, where its infrastructure, of course, is less developed as here in the US, and the regulations will adapt even more slowly than they could be adapted here?
Yeah, you're something about it, but when you think about it, there's the emerging market always a big problem. Think about the implications of the devices and how mobile medicine is so prevalent in sub-Saharan India, Pakistan, South Asian markets, there's mobile medicine and some figures. So I think you'll see these markets themselves more of their own organic, just an example. I think they're going to make such not saying just part of the first months. I think that's the example of the world will definitely spend another example. Like the other world will not say something, so something will be fire for and so that's one of the things people don't take one growth anymore. After the multiple India, they use it as a robots for velocity or nothing. So I'm sure we've been in over and then it's coming out of my process. So that's exactly what you want to be aware of. Like any machine learning technique that you think you can come up here and outtake people from there, they're outtaking better because they know the competition there. There's anybody else in the machine. And you have to just let them organically come up and stuff. So you make sure a lot of people machine learning on the client side, you do the lab of good connection. So this will be certain assumptions you can make, but believe me, you always surprise them with things like that.
I have another question over there. So I think that machine learning can encompass quite a few different use cases. So I have a question on the kind of the landscape for machine learning right now. So you have really large enterprise companies like Google, IBM, kind of play in the space. You have such small startups. So where do you think will ultimately be in the space? Is it more of an enterprise play or tiny startup?
But you think you don't see the left element of the academic, the guys who look like they had a theory about it, because you understand together. I talked about that change last year. I think other companies have a great example, because the things involved in the out, and so we're not saying that that's very exciting to support data. But I have to think about the numbers of the very big. So you're going to get the company, but you're ready to take what they're doing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think for study data, for example, particularly the data sets, I mean, the question is really, it's not even relevant to the team. I think the team in a cost base is often that the team is valued as much as more and more of the technology. Whether that persists is really hard to say. The technology also has a plateau, it may not. But at the moment, I think the team will be valued as technology.
So just to round up one last on that, I don't agree with both these guys. But also say that there are going to be probably a smaller number of machine learning platform folks, and then a lot of people are going to use machine learning platforms and models and algorithms and feed their own data for sort of specific use cases or industry specific things. I think there is a tremendous amount of opportunity for all kinds of companies including startups to be able to have a meaningful impact.
I was going to say that the platforms are lowering the bar, and so for instance, it might be different when you get to machine learning models and data, right? So there's a couple of...
Thank you very much for the
Okay, I get that. All right, thank you. Moving on our previous session, the next session we will be celebrating the pitfalls for entrepreneurs and red flags for investors. We have with us Matt Marks, who is a successful inventor, has 7 patents to his credit. He is also a professor of technology and innovation at MIT Sloan School of Management. He is also an executive on several boards of several startups in the secret ignition industry. Joining him, we have John Savick, who is a general partner at Spark Capital. He's led early stage investments in companies such as Coursefire, Tumblr, Twitter, and many more. Joey is a very talented photographer as well, and he's also known for investing in startups that he's super passionate about. Join me in welcoming both John and Matt.
That's very here, but that's all right, well, so we're doing a Q&A. We're going to up first, and just want to say, John's been to my class here for about 5 or 6 different times. Remember the last time he came, someone asked him a question people always ask, which is, how do you know what to invest? What do you look for? And the first part that you look for is the things that you just get scared of. And then there's also things I just don't care about. And those are most things that one of the second time about some of the things. Yeah, I mean, Matt and I were so first conversation, I don't think we were done to what just talking about, but the other thing that I find, because of the conventional wisdom in business, I don't really care about patents. I don't care about, intellectual property as a differentiator. I don't care about the business plan. I really care about the business model. So that's kind of how I started your class. I think it's really good. There is some chaos. Most of it just comes from the enterprise and business plan class, which people about gross margin and
were really designed, had a lot of success, were designed to help the little guy with the entrepreneur, and that was the whole basis of around technology. And, that process has really been, almost just tortured. And now we have a situation where I have to really get up to big companies. And you can't legitimately defend yourself with a big company. Like your investors in any company, it's not just by Pasco or the company. And we haven't had a situation yet where we were found guilty of breaching the
Hoy muy cuenta, yo no me decía
millions of taxes to do it, and those big companies don't have the ability to do it. So I don't say it to be flip. I say it because I find it not practical, because this is not something that a company can really deal with. It also probably use the best mechanisms that I tend to invest in. But ultimately, we have not seen that that's a real thing. And there have been cases where it helps, but the critical thing about the company is not the my search firm wasn't on the space called Plato, but Harvard Square. And it's one of my things was all secret missions. That's my background. And it was basically trying to do theory about 4 years before theory back in 2004. The World Networks, 3 years or so. And one way to work like those. And so we put out the patents. And one of the things we got our first patent, we got sued by a certain large secret mission company about 20 miles north of here. I won't name the state of it. And they just they admitted that we just committed outrageous. So they sold traces of the patent. And it got really so they raised some money. So they had, billions in the bank, like hundreds of millions in the bank. They had plenty of lawyers. But it wasn't just the money. The real problem was that once the lawsuit came on, our CEO, half the time they were talking. And they knew that. They knew that they could decimate much more. They were generating equal time. And so taking your CEO after deposition, discovery, and all that really slowed us down. I don't want to talk about that, but I really did have that. It's not as unlimited. It's not as I mean, the thing about the last time I got right, it's called, we're a company. I won't name it, I'm not but we were sued by a fucking rental company. But the other company, there were terminal for a rental company, sued our portfolio company. That company doesn't make it, doesn't make anything connected. They make Shell, and it's a multi-billion-dollar company, and they went after a little startup for patent infringement. I think it was one of your hedge funds. Yeah, we got rolled out. Yeah, I got rolled by some random.